Conversation, and it's about our heritage. Our four-grandfathers advised our parents to teach us our history, and I don't know if our parents or if your parents taught you your history, but Science TV is making a point to make you reflect on your history and your heritage. What do I mean? This morning, we're going to be having a conversation with Madame Mariana Wanyonyi. She is Head of Research and Educational Services at the Kenya National Archives and Documentation Services. And of course, I know, like me, that is the first question that I asked her about that building that is used as a converging center in town. What is it really about? Do the doors really even ever open? That is part of what we're going to be talking about, and what really it means to work at the National Archives and the kind of work that they do to preserve our heritage and our history. Remember, those who do not have history, then probably they might not be able to craft a future perfect for themselves. Madam Mariana.
Yes.
Karibu sana, tusalimie how you've been, and tell us a little bit in depth about what you do at the National Archives.
All right. Hello, my name is Mariana Wanyonyi. I'm an assistant director, but also head of research and educational services at the Kenya National Archives and Documentation Service. At the Kenya National Archives, like Alan is saying, has been a meeting point for a greater majority of Kenyans and the public generally. Yeah. They've been meeting outside without knowing what is inside. So today,
we even think that place is out of bounds. It's only reserved for a few.
No, it's a government office, so it means that you are at liberty to walk in and find. You quench your quest on what is really inside there. Yes.
Let us start it there, quenching our quest of what is really inside. What is inside? Because many people look at it as a monument. You see some of the monuments that are in town of Tom Mboya and the recent ones that were erected around about in town. You would think that it does not have an entrance. Where, first and foremost, where is the entrance of the National Archives before we start talking about what is in the National Archives?
Okay. First of all, the Kenya National Archives and Documentation Service is a department under the Ministry of Gender, Culture and Heritage, but under the State Department for Culture and Heritage. So it's located along Moi Avenue. Behind is Tom Mboya, but the entrance is at Moi Avenue. The building that you look at was constructed in 1928.
1928?
Yes. It was the Bank of India then. But in 1970, the government bought the building and housed, allowed KCB, Kenya Commercial Bank. That's why we have a stage behind, a Matatu stage, that is called Commercial. It is coming because of KCB. So KCB used to be there 1970 to 1978. Then the government now relocated Kenya National Archives, which was at Jogoo House basement, 1979. Then it was now, by 1980, Kenya National Archives began to operate at now the current building that we have. Yes.
That's quite a rich history.
Yes.
And you only get that information here at Science TV. So what is in the National Archives? What would I find in the National Archives?
All right. The National Archives, as you enter the entrance, there are a couple of things that are there. That is history, and it's a memory of the nation. First things first. We have artifacts at the basement. It's called, in fact, the ground floor, it's called the Art Gallery. The Art Gallery consists basically Joseph Murumbi's collection. Joseph Murumbi was the second Vice President of the Republic. I know people don't even know.
I was even wondering who is Joseph Murumbi.
Joseph Murumbi was the Vice President of the Republic of Kenya.
during Kenyatta's government?
Yes. So when he used to go outside the country, he used to be gifted. So some of the artifacts that he was being gifted outside the country, he brought back but donated them to the Kenya National Archives. And he made it very clear for government that I am donating some of my personal things to the Kenya National Archives for preservation. So from the time that those things were brought, they are at Kenya National Archives. So they are showcased for the public, and the Kenyan Public, National Center, they're at 50 shillings.
Yeah.
Just 50 Kenya shillings to access, to just view the art gallery.
Yeah.
The art gallery has got a lot of things. One of the most interesting things, first things first, we have national identity cards. You have yours, I have mine.
Yeah.
But when you come there, we will show you what Africans used to do in the colonial times. There's a kipande.
The kipande system.
The kipande system. The box is there, it is displayed.
Yeah.
So apart from that, other collections are for Murumbi, including the bed that he used
to sleep on.
He donated. It's there. The cups used, the jugs, they are all there.
Yeah.
So that's the first. The art gallery is the first place. Then now, apart from that, where I am now, the head, the research bit, is it is now the place where the government meets the public. The interaction happens at my desk now. When researchers come to register, and these researchers I'm talking about are not Kenyans alone. We have historians, like you have rightly put, we have students, we have lecturers, we have people who just love reading, who love history. They also walk in there. So there's a registration that happens. Then they can be able to access like these files, like I was talking about. So some of the collections at the Kenya National Archives, including the oldest files. We are talking about history. If Kenya was under the British rule 1895 to about 1963, some of those collections are at the archives. But you can't access it unless there's a procedure. So the second procedure is now the research bit, where I am. At the research section, like we are talking about, there's the normal collections that was donated. That were happening, normal government operations, normal British operations with Kenyans that time. But as well as of recent, we have what we call migrated archives. Our archives that were taken in 1963 by the British colonialists when they were leaving, they went with some of our records. But the government pursued some of them.
And they reclaimed them
and
back.
we reclaimed them back. So as recent as this year, June, we were able to launch some of them by the British High Commissioner. He brought some of them in 9.1 terabytes.
That is Ed Bennett. That is
Neil.
Chashdefa.
No, it was Neil with
Neil
Wigan. Yes.
Before he left.
Just before he left.
Yeah.
It was just a week before he left. So they were launched. So all those records about in their volumes can be accessed at the archives. But also we have a bit of something called, that is why in 1990 the government added some service to it was initially Kenya National Archives, period. Then now we have something called documentation service. It was a part of something that was added to us. That is the bit section of the Kenya National Archives where it is mandatory for every government agency. For every publication you make, 2 copies have to be deposited in that place.
So what the Gazette notices that are
Gazette
produced,
notices, yes. And
the new constitution,
yes,
an act, a law is passed.
Yes. And now much more, even including the CBC materials. Us who went through 844, we have all our textbooks are there. From when I was in class 1 to when I was in class 8. Every of those steps, 2 of copies from class 1 to class 8 are also there.
Existent.
So if you would like to get a touch of what you did in primary school, please
go to the National Archives.
You can walk there. We also have a collection of photos at the audiovisual. Very old Asian photos, the Kenya-Uganda Railway photos, when the railway was being established in 1906. They are there.
I'm already inspired to be at the National Archives. And I have a challenge for you.
Yes.
Given that you've said that this is preserving the history and the knowledge of Kenya, does the National Archive also participate in knowledge creation? And this is why I asked such a question. Science TV, it's about sign language and all of that. And there is a number of variations when it comes to sign language. Of course, there is the Kenya Sign Language, but when you go to Kisumu, you'll find different variations. When you go to Kakamega, you'll find a different variation. Wouldn't it be interesting to also have those variations of sign language to be also archived at the National Archives?
Exactly. Like one of our mandates from the Act, the Public Archives Act, is to go and acquire. Is to go and acquire and bring back and preserve in different formats. So the first thing we normally do, and once we go outside there to acquire this, what we call unique, the first thing we go for is like sign language, like the Braille.
Actually, also Braille.
We have never. If I go to an agency, a government institution where I'm supposed to acquire that material and bring it back to the archives for preservation, I normally go for the first thing first. Has it been transcribed in Braille? Then now that qualifies it. I collect it immediately to the archives. So it's a unique. It's a unique collection. So you're giving me another challenge of the audio one, the audio bit of sign language, for example. It
would be interesting, and probably that is even a place that some researchers or scholars around languages a challenge that they could could take up. Talk to us about the books that are on the table here, and by talking to us, which are some of the oldest. Of course, you spoke about when Kenya became a protectorate from around the 1800s. Which are some of the oldest documents that are at the archive, and what do they really talk about, such as those that you've carried today?
Right. I carried one book called The Lost Continent. It was, like I said, it was published in 1875. We have, but this is a bit. This is not the oldest. We have as oldest as 1500.
1500. Talking about what? Who had to write in 1500?
No. People did. Joseph Cooper did. In 1875, he was talking about slavery and slave trade. So people who love history, we have a collection for them. We call it the Murumbi collection. We classified it.
So this is a part of the Murumbi collection.
When he used to go outside, he collected all these things. So
somebody comes, visits Kenya, they go outside, they publish something about Kenya, but it's not here, then Murumbi picks it and brings it back.
No. Sometimes he would just, it was a matter like publications of Africa and heritage, some things to do with Africa, not specifically Kenya. Then it's an interesting thing for him, he would collect it and bring it. So then in essence, but that's not the only thing. We are saying that even as of now, sometimes some people are out of curiosity for themselves. When we are going to acquire these archives, somebody would say, I have a book for 1900. Are you interested in? Of course, I'm interested in it. So, yes, I acquire it for preservation, not necessarily Joseph Murumbi's, but we have collected a variety of books. It's only that we put it like an Africana collection.
Interesting.
So now the files.
Yes.
We have a file here for application of employment during the protectorate.
The HRs of those days.
The HR of that time. So somebody is applying for a job. It was 4th of November, 1903.
The job, what job were they applying for? Would you even apply for jobs those days? I remember our grandparents used to tell us, for us, we used to be called for jobs.
No, and it would be received by the registrar. Like this one has been received on June of 17th, 1903. Somebody is applying for a job. The registrar is applying for a job of a registrar in Mombasa. So it will be received, of course, by protocols until it lands at the governors. And remember, Kenya was under a governor. Uganda was also under a governor. We were all ruled by governors, the British governors. So somebody is applying for a job. Yes, we have a file that talks about that. Now there is also this one where if I see this was just this is a file about ceremonies and ceremonial policies. This file is of 1963, 50, 62. It is in the 50s and the 60s. The reason around just about independence there. So, like, this was an oath of allegiance where Malcolm John MacDonald, do swear that I will faithfully and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs, her successors, according to law. So help me God. So you swear, but all these things that were being done, they were documented. And these are the things that if were all expatriated, taken back to the UK.
That is history that will be lacking.
It's our history.
Yeah.
So we go back and collect our history. This is our heritage.
Yeah.
This is our identity.
Yeah.
So we have kept some of these things so that somebody right now, you should not be able to say people are not reading. No, people, how would they write employment letters in 1903?
1903, you know, this generation, kwanza sisi watu wa Gen Z, millennial, tunajionanga sisi ndio tuko advanced sana.
Hapana. So in 1960s and in 1970s, people used to also operate. The reason I carried these things is that we are just borrowing from what the colonialists did to run like a government now.
Yeah.
Once, when we are invited for a swearing-in ceremony, there's a car pass, it is here. There is invitations, they are here. There is the direction, like I was given direction here. So there is direction here as well.
So basically everything that happens does not happen by chance. There is a system.
There is a history behind.
And I think probably that is why some of the things in our governments don't change. Because there is already a system. There is a periphery of a direction where you're supposed to go, and you try so much not to deviate from it. All right.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I want us to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about why is it important to study our heritage, and how can we get more people to go to the National Archives? Because my mind is overblown right now with enthusiasm and getting to understand what is really at the National Archives. Because when you look at the building, you're like, it's negligible, because you do not really understand the value and the nuggets of wisdom you could find in that building. Do not go away. We're going to be back shortly after the break.
Okay.